quality education, experts pinpoint investments in infrastructure and incentives for teaching profession as driving forces. Federal government commences emergency repairs on deplorable roads and bridges in all geopolitical zones. Federal Road Safety Corps targets human capital development in quest to sanitize roads. And welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. President Bola Tinubu has nominated Abdullahi Garba Ramat as the new chairman and chief executive officer of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. In a statement, the president describes 39-year-old Ramat as an electrical engineer and administrator with several major qualifications. President Tinubu also nominated 2 commissioners for the NERC. They are Abubakar Yusuf, Commissioner of Consumer Affairs, and Dr. Fuad Olainka Animashaun, Commissioner of Finance and Management Services. All nominations are subject to Senate confirmation. However, to avoid a leadership vacuum in the critical regulatory agency, the President directed that Ramat assumes office in an acting capacity pending his screening by the Senate as stipulated by the law. The Federal Ministry of Works has commenced emergency repairs on all roads and bridges that are in very deplorable conditions in the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation. At a media briefing, Works Minister David Umahi said the ongoing palliative measures are sequel to presidential directives.
Mr. President has directed immediate action in all this location because the chain is as strong as the weakest link. If any sections of this road or bridges, gets cut, then the movement is impaired. So you won't be able to move from one point to the other.
Pointing out some of these projects requiring emergency repairs across the zones, Umahi also explains what is being done to prevent overladen trucks from damaging the beams of already constructed bridges.
This gantry is that if you it's going to be 6 cm, lower than the bottom of every beam in every flyover, and we're going to have spikes. If you are coming and your overburden load is going to touch our beams to bring it down, that spikes will bring you down first.
On the social media reports regarding the failed portion of the sand-filled shoulders of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, the minister urged Nigerians to disregard the report.
That thing is not any structural failure at all. It is within whether it is whether it is stone base you are using or sand or laterite, it is bound to happen. The moment water is, pounding on it, it has to erode. But you can go from Ahmad Bello, where we have completed, and you find out whether you find such a thing.
Works Minister David Umahi. Now, experts in the education sector believe that investing in infrastructure in colleges of education and university faculties of education, as well as incentives for the teaching profession, are crucial steps towards improving the quality of education in Nigeria. The experts raised these points while discussing ending learning poverty in Nigeria on Good Morning Nigeria. Kimini Williams reports.
A recent analysis has shed light on the dire state of education in rural areas, where a staggering 70% of 10-year-olds struggle to read and understand basic texts. Experts, including former Kogi State Commissioner of Education, Rosemary Osikoya, pinpoint key challenges such as lack of teacher accommodation and motivation in rural areas and uneven implementation of policies in the sector.
Things that needs to be done is the infrastructure we are talking about for school should not just be classrooms. there should be laboratories at that level. As basic as art is concerned, do we have art studios in basic schools? Do we have home economic labs in basic school? Because we see some interesting videos of Chinese children and babies playing around with sewing machines and adaptation of them, doing military drills and all of that. If the schools do not have this facility, if there's no accommodation for teachers, it's not rocket science. The person you post from one place to the other, that needs to be accommodated.
The truth is that people don't want to stay in the rural areas, teachers. But then the question is, who are those employed? Are they children of the rural areas? They are children of the privileged people who are in the cities. Therefore, they are city boys and girls, and when you give them employment, they will not be willing to go there.
Even the 150 that JAM is talking about as the entry qualification into the university, I have faulted it here on NTA, on the NTA. I went to the university scoring 202 so many years ago. My child should be struggling to score 250, 260, 270. We are lowering the standards of education, and that affects us in teacher training.
To address this issue, experts recommend prioritizing primary education in rural areas and ensuring that it is functional and efficient. Some potential solutions include investing in infrastructure and resources in rural schools, providing incentives for teachers to work in rural areas, implementing programs to support and train rural teachers, and encouraging community involvement in education.
But the point of it is that whatever you want to be, a doctor, a pilot, anything, you have to be taught by someone. So I think our government needs to go back. We need to take a look again at how we train our teachers and the investment we make in the process of training our teachers.
Because I do remember then requesting that copies of all these policies agreed to from all the councils of education. It would be good that these are in a library somewhere in the states, where state policy persons who have to implement these are guided by this, and that decisions that are made are actually targeted.
By addressing the root causes of this issue and working towards creating a more equitable education system, policymakers and educators can help ensure that all students have access to quality education regardless of their location. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Meet the Borno farmers who till the land and bring forth the harvest that feeds their communities and beyond. But for them, reaching their farmlands on time is always a challenge. Hours spent walking to their farmlands and carrying heavy loads have taken a toll on their bodies and their livelihoods. Now, thanks to the Borno State Government's Free Farmers Transport Initiative, farmers no longer have to walk for hours, easing the burden of transportation and renewing hope for a more productive harvest season. Let's get more details on this from Pauline Kuje-Vana.
With farming tools in hands and hope in their hearts, the farmers head to their fields with renewed enthusiasm, ready to till the soil, plant the seeds, and reap the fruit of their labor.
Getting trip transport and coming back, we really enjoy and we really appreciate the state government.
We will make sure that we farm and produce many food to excuse us in hungry.
This is the fourth year this initiative is providing pickup vans, golf wagons, open-body tricycles and Borno Express buses to convey farmers daily from the city to their farmlands and back completely free of charge. On average, each farmer saves between 500 and 1,000 naira daily in transport costs, a significant relief in today's economic climate. The scheme, which officially commenced over the weekend, is expected to run throughout the rainy season until the harvest period. Each day, the farmers are conveyed early in the morning under the protection of a combined team of security operatives and allowed to work on their farmlands for about 7 to 8 hours before being transported back to the city.
Many who had abundant farming have now returned thanks to the governor's initiative. With this free transportation, we can now go to our farms with ease without the burden of transport cost or security threat.
My farmland is nearby, but before now, I used to spend 400 naira daily on transport. Thank God for this free service. We are very happy. My family and I will now be able to save a lot of money.
The state government has engaged us, and we are grateful to be earning a steady income to sustain our businesses and livelihoods. We sincerely thank the government.
Commissioner for Youth, Sport and Poverty Alleviation, who also serves as chairman of the Free Farmers Transport Initiative, Sayin Abuba, commended the unwavering commitment of the security forces in providing cover for the farmers and urged the beneficiaries to adhere strictly to the scheduled closing time, has approved by security personnel to ensure smooth and safe operations throughout the farming season.
Every year, the state government is spending 216 million naira for the cost of transportation. So I'm using this chance to call on all the farmers to ensure that we plant plants like sorghum, maize, and millet. I have observed that most of the people want cash crop. If everybody goes and plant cash crop, that means at the end of the exercise, we may not get what we want to feed.
The Free Farmers Transport Initiative is one of the state government's ongoing efforts to revive agrarian livelihoods, strengthen food security, and cushion the economic impact of insurgency and displacement in Borno State. In Maiduguri, Paul Nkujevana, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Kogi state government has reiterated commitments to transforming the state's agricultural sector and improving the livelihoods of farmers through the recently signed Food for Lagos partnership, aimed at creating a robust food supply chain between Kogi and Lagos states. A statement from the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi Famwo, says the State Ministry of Agriculture has already mapped out key areas with comparative advantages for specific crops, ensuring that each region contributes meaningfully to the value chain. Kogi, he says, is already a leading producer of cassava in Nigeria and West Africa, and the administration is working hard to dominate other areas of food production. He praised Governor Ododo as a visionary leader who, from the outset of his administration, placed agriculture at the center of his development agenda. Fanmo also highlighted major government-backed programs such as the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, which is facilitating the rehabilitation of rural roads to improve access to markets, and the Agro-Climatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes program, which is channeling investments into rural farming communities. In other news, as part of concerted efforts to curb corruption in the country, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is to commence a thorough investigation into the real estate sector of Nigeria's economy. Chairman of the EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, disclosed this in Abuja during a keynote address on policy dialogue on the critical issues affecting Nigeria's real estate ecosystem. Judiciary correspondent Dele Atumbi reports.
The real estate sector is a significant contributor to Nigeria's economy, now ranking as the third largest sector behind trade and crop production. In the third quarter of 2024, the sector grew by 46.52% in nominal terms and contributed 5.43% to the real GDP. Due to the growth of the sector, illicit financial flow is rampant as people with alleged financial crimes invest in the sector to hide their ill-gotten wealth. It is in the light of this that the Anti-Graft Agency is beaming its searchlight on illicit financial flows in the real estate sector. The probe will begin in the Federal Capital Territory with a view to determining real owners and possibly identify whether the estates are products of illicit transactions. To achieve this, the agency will collaborate with other sectors and stakeholders in the real estate sector to make the pending probe a worthwhile.
Real estate is one of those key areas we are looking up to for the rapid development of our economy. Of course, you are aware of the shortage in the housing in Nigeria, probably between 15 and 20 million. And if we have to catch up with that, we have to take care of that lacuna. It is really important to encourage people like you. Don't let anybody hide under you and do money laundering. We're going to expose you, we're going to fish you out and bust the racket. Because we have got to a stage in Nigeria where all of us, we have to synergize, we have to collaborate. The government will play its part, private sector will play their own part. and for this country to move forward.
That project and ensure that all land records are brought into it so that shall be one central place where land titles are administered from. And on the part of the massive developers, the problem was that those who had agreements were to develop them within a certain time. They haven't. Those who had development needs were also to do so. And there's a condition there that when you sell, you make returns to the FCDA wages so that they
in sanitizing the sector, statistics of real estate would be obtained and a comprehensive register of owners will be developed as operationalization is key for the real estate to grow. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blend in performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
You're welcome back. Court Martial Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, has warned senior officers of the Corps to intensify the injection of their wealth of experience to ensuring safety on the highways, alongside coming up with more strategies in ensuring sanity on the roads. He said this while hosting some senior officers of the Corps and decoration of some newly promoted officers, emphasizing their commitment and loyalty to carrying out their responsibilities.
Is to reduce traffic crashes, to save lives. Whatever we can do to do that is our basic mandate. It's our goal, it's our objective. So I charge you to be more committed and focused to make sure that we achieve that mandate to continue to reduce our traffic crashes, fatalities, and injuries on Nigerian roads, and to make life better for all Nigerians.
We know the value and the responsibilities of road safety. We need to save lives, and we continue to give necessary supports. I want to assure you, the bill in front of the 10th Assembly, which was passed recently by the House, will soon be in the Senate for concurrence.
Newly promoted senior officers also pledged more commitments on their duties on the roads. Across Africa, a big shift is happening, led by a new generation determined to own their story. These young changemakers are not just keeping up with global trends, they're setting the pace, rewriting the rules and reshaping the narrative. Alika Wanachi Arua reports that the Futurecast Africa Conference 2025 is at the heart of this movement.
At a time when Nigeria is tackling youth restiveness, seeking to rebrand its global image and attract serious investments, Futurecast Africa could not have come at a better time. The conference is opening doors for Nigerian youth to show the world their creativity, talent, and limitless potentials.
We are coming in one room to showcase Africa brand because we see Africa as a talented and a growing place where everybody can grow, where everybody can develop, and where everybody can stand tall.
With the theme, Branding Your Identity with Innovation, the 2025 edition of the conference is all about giving young African brands the mindset, tools, and strategy to succeed in today's digital-fast global economy.
The technology is there, the platforms are there, but we are the ones not accepting them and using them to move ourselves forward.
From tech to media, design to entrepreneurship, the focus is on more than just building a name. It's about building a brand that is deeply rooted in identity, culture, and purpose. Participants are learning how to stay authentic while going global.
One thing I particularly want to take home is that a lot of Nigerian youths need to understand what it means to start from where they are.
It's a very timely event and it's very relevant because a lot of people, especially young people, struggle with the idea of branding. I think it's one of the reasons why Africa seems to be quite suppressed, because we are not really building a brand that's speaking what we are doing.
Whether it's fashion infused with heritage, apps designed for local impact, or storytelling through film and digital art, the message from the organizers is clear. Africa's identity doesn't need to change to fit the future. It needs to lead. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi, Arua, NTA News.
Kaduna State University has appointed Hamza Musa Makarfi as the new Director of Corporate Services, effective immediately. A letter signed by the registrar of the institution, Samira Balarabi, says it is looking forward to him bringing his wealth of experience and leadership skills to bear on the institution. Makarfi is a former zonal director of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Kaduna Network Center, and also held other key leadership roles, including General Manager of NTA Lafia and Senior Producer roles in NTA Headquarters, Abuja. His nationally acclaimed works include producing and anchoring high-level policy and infrastructure programs such as 7-Point Agenda and Powerlinks. He also served as State House correspondent during the administration of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. He is widely respected for his strategic insight, development advocacy, and commitment to public service, and has mentored numerous professionals in the media and academic space. Deputy Women Leader of the governing All Progressives Congress, Zainab Ibrahim Abubakar, has donated palliatives to party supporters at the National Secretariat to assuage the current economic hardship. The palliatives were distributed soon after a successful testing and screening of scores of persons with diabetes and high blood pressure, including free medical consultancy by a team of physicians.
WHO has a standard of 120 because high blood pressure are not common in children, but disease condition can cause, which can be managed while you're in the hospital.
Very well. We are going to sustain this by the grace of God, because we have to fly the flag of the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
Because health is life. If you don't know your health status, that is why we keep hearing, issues about sudden death and all that.
Not only your blood pressure, not only your sugar level, your heart, they will test your kidney, your heart rate.
The exercise is meant to enhance physical and mental health as party loyalists, as well as to improve their economic situations in line with the renewed hope agenda of the Bola Tinubu-led administration. This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Here is a recap of our top stories. Improving quality of education, experts pinpoint investments in infrastructure and incentives for teaching profession as driving forces. Federal government commences emergency repairs on deplorable roads and bridges in all geopolitical zones. And Federal Road Safety Corps targets human capital development in quest to sanitize the roads.
This is NTA News 24.
First Lady Oluremi Tinubu congratulates Senator Daisy Danjuma on the occasion of her 73rd birthday. In a birthday message where she joins family, friends and associates to felicitate with the celebrants, the First Lady notes that her life as a legislator, distinguished lawyer and entrepreneur who represented Edo South in the 5th National Assembly has been one of service and commitment to the advancement of the country. She prays that Almighty God continues to bless the celebrants with divine health, peace, and many more years of fulfillment and joy. And with that, we conclude the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.